Hi, welcome to an insight into the AI Conversation Coach. The AI Conversation Coach, or AI Coach, is a tool that allows you to create your own AI-driven conversation scenarios. You can create scenario outlines and AI personas that reply to the user's input in a role-play setting, and that enables them to practice how to navigate specific situations. And today we will have a look at how this can be applied specifically to the healthcare space. So what we see here is the backend of the platform. And here we can see two repositories, which are the individual learning modules. So each of these modules contains specific learning units, different learning units that fall under each of these categories. So on the left side here, we have a category for interactions for doctors. So the learners would be doctors in that case. And on the right side, we have the same for care personnel, such as nurses. So let's take a quick look inside one of these repositories to see how they're structured. And here on the right side, we can see the different personas and scenarios. So you can see it's all patients here. We have Mr. Smith, for example, and the scenario would be about calming the patient and building trust. Whereas in the second scenario with Ms. Whitaker, it's more about setting clear boundaries. And in the third scenario, it's about de-escalation. And we can look at the doctors as well. And here we can see it's similar. It's patients as well, for example. We have some where it's about clearly and empathetically delivering a diagnosis. We have one about handling complaints. But we also, for example, have a scenario that's with a family member of a patient. So here it's about providing clear and calming information to a family member of a patient. So all scenarios that would be relevant for healthcare professionals that they could be confronted with at some point on their day-to-day. And let's have a look now into one of these scenarios to see how they are structured. So here we can see in this menu, that's where we put in all the relevant information. So we start with the simulation type. This one would be about conflict management and public description. So this one actually you would see in the front end as well. It's in this case about politely but firmly setting boundaries. And then in the next step, we assign a role and a name to the AI. So in this case, we tell the AI it's supposed to play the role of a patient, and the name is Miss Whitaker. And then we can also assign character traits or the persona. So here we have selected it's a patient that's constantly demanding attention and being a patient. And when we move further down, here we can see that we can decide whether AI animation should be activated or not. And what that means, you can see on the top left here, we have uploaded an image. And with this selection, we decide whether this image should be animated or not. So if it's not animated, then in the front end, while going through the scenario, you will see this image like that. But if you choose animation, this image will actually be animated and talk to you as well. And when we do select animation, we also can select a voice to go along with it. And you can see we have pre-selection of several male or female voices as well. Then moving on is where we assign the role to the user as well. So in this case, the training would be for nurses and set the goal. So it's about setting clear boundaries politely, but firmly. And then in the last text box here, you can put in any additional information. So basically everything that's not been covered previously, you can put in here any further context, any more details, any more background on the patient, on their health history, anything like that. You could put in here. So the more detailed this part becomes, the more specific the scenario will be. And once you're done, you hit the save button, and that takes us back to the previous menu. And what you can do now, you see the Manage Users button here. That's where you decide who in the front end will have access to this learning module. You click on that one and add user on the top right corner here. And then you just put in their email addresses. Just assigning that to myself now. And I'm not sure if you heard the signal just now. You actually get an email notification as well that you just got assigned a new learning module. And you go back and save. and you're done with that one. And if you want to start creating your own module, you also do that from the dashboard here with the create button in the top right corner. And it also takes you to the menu we just saw, just empty, of course. And you start selecting a picture here, put in a name. Let's call this Doctor Interactions 2 now, create this. And then you can see on the right side here, you can start creating the personas with the same menu that we just looked into as well. And once you're done, you save and you see it on your dashboard. And now let's have a look at what the front end looks like. So this is the front end. It's mobile based, so users can access it quickly on the go as well without having to look into a computer first, and can do it completely asynchronously as well. So especially when you're in a hospital or any type of healthcare setting, where you have people on a lot of different schedules from different departments, that actually comes in very handy. And when you open the app, you can see here are the repositories that have been assigned to us. And just here we see the one about care interactions that we just assigned. We'll just open this one. And here you see the 3 personas, just the same that we saw in the backend just now. And you can see 3 dots on the side here. And when you select those, you can see the details. And that gives you the information again, what type of simulation it is, what role the AI assumes, what role I as the learner assume, and what the goal of this conversation actually should be. Right. So let's have a look at what this looks like in practice. We can select a language, one from over 70 languages here, but of course for the demo, I keep it in English. And then we can see that the AI starts playing the role of a patient and talking to us based on the outline we have given for the scenario. So now the AI tells us they're feeling anxious, they're not sure what's going to happen, what are the risks that are involved, and it's our job to calm down the person. So we can now reply. Just like that. And then we see that the AI takes our answer and reacts and replies to that as well. And I've given the answer via text now, but on your mobile, of course, you can also just speak into it and use the speech to text function. You can see just like the outlines that we've given, the AI now asks more questions. And we can also see a little icon here on the right side. So that's a feedback button. When we click that, we actually get a little bit of feedback and advice on what we can tweak within the conversation as well. And then from here, we can carry on this conversation. Then let's have a look at what the animated version looks like. We'll switch to Miss Whitaker here. Select the language again. And then we can see here at the top that the image we uploaded in the backend actually gets animated, and then it will also start talking to us.
I really need to get my pain managed right away. I can't keep waiting. Why isn't someone attending to me? This is just unacceptable.
Right, that's it for today with some insight into the AI coach, specifically in a healthcare setting. I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye-bye.